want to tell you a story today about an outcast woman with a serious problem. She had no right to even speak to Jesus. By every rule of that culture, she was unworthy. And yet, Jesus looked at her and said, "Woman, you have great faith." Friends, if you've ever wondered if God's grace is really for you or for them, this is the story for you. Friends, welcome to Lift Your Life with Awe. My name is Gretel Seiler, and I'm a 73-year-old wife, mother, grandmother, sister, and retired accountant. Now let me take you back to the beginning. Jesus had withdrawn to the region of Tyre and Sidon, Gentile territory, outside of Israel. And a woman comes to him. Matthew says Canaanite. Mark says Greek, Syrophoenician. Both ways, we need to understand that she was not valued in the culture of the time. She was a woman, an outsider, a foreigner. So by birth, by religion, by cultural standards, she had no claim on the Jewish Messiah. She was, in their eyes, unworthy. She cries out, "Lord, Son of David, have mercy on me. My daughter is suffering terribly." At first, Jesus is silent. That is puzzling, but stay with me. And the disciples, they don't see a desperate mother. They see a problem. They say, "Send her away, for she keeps crying out after us." You know, I think about the little daughter, tormented, troubled, not herself, and I think about that mother seeking help any way possible to help the daughter she loves. But I also think how quickly we do the same thing the disciples did. We see labels, annoying, difficult, not one of us. We sort people into worthy and unworthy without even thinking. Then Jesus says, "I was sent only to the lost sheep of Israel." Friends, he wasn't being cold. He was holding up a mirror to his disciples and to us. Their whole world was us and them, Jews and Gentiles, insiders and outsiders. Doesn't that sound just like our divisive society today? Don't talk to them. They're wearing the wrong kind of hat. They belong to the wrong political party. They don't talk like us or look like us. But Jesus was about to show them that grace doesn't work that way. God doesn't see as we see. He doesn't see background. He sees a heart, and every heart, every single one, is worthy and capable of receiving his grace. That is what he wants us to completely understand. And then, in spite of Jesus saying that he was only here to help Jewish believers, she doesn't leave. She comes closer. She kneels. "Lord, help me." She was honest. She was humble. She didn't argue that she deserved help. She just believed. I want you to sit and think about that picture for a moment. On her knees, not demanding, just trusting that even for an outsider, his grace was enough, that he could heal her daughter. But you know what I also believe now? That kneeling wasn't begging to become worthy. It was faith that she already was, that she had been seen as worthy by God. Then Jesus says, "It's not right to take the children's bread and toss it to the little dogs." That stings, doesn't it? Again, it just doesn't fit with the loving Jesus we think about. But it is not her that he is teaching. He knows she believes. It is to reflect how the disciples are thinking about her. It is how we often think about the people that are different from us. But here's a secret in what Jesus said that most people miss. People then use the Greek word kuon, which means wild, unclean street dogs, as an insult for people who are different, outcast. But here, Jesus used a different word, canaria, little dogs, puppies, house dogs, under the table type dogs. It is hard not to smile when thinking about puppies. He had softened the cultural saying from a curse just a little bit. And then she answers with such wisdom, "Yes, Lord, yet even the little dogs eat the crumbs that fall from their master's table." She's saying, I know I'm not an insider by birth, but even a crumb from your table is enough for my daughter. And Lord, your table is so abundant, there is always enough. She understood what the disciples didn't yet. God's grace isn't scarce. It's not a loaf to be rationed only to insiders. It's a supply that never runs out, and every person is worthy to receive it. Friends, if this story is changing how you see someone in your life right now, let me know in the comments. Just say, "This is me," or even just a heart. I read every single one. And subscribe so you don't miss our next conversation. And Jesus' face softens. He says, "Woman, you have great faith. Your request is granted." And at that very hour, her daughter was healed. Jesus said she had great faith. He only tells 2 people in the whole Bible that, and she's one of them. Not because she finally earned worthiness, but because Jesus revealed the worthiness God had seen in her all along. He saw through the label, woman, Canaanite, Gentile, outsider, and he saw a daughter capable of great faith, worthy of great grace. Friends, this is how God sees every person you will meet today. Not as a category, not as a problem, as deeply loved, worthy of grace, and human, frail, tired, carrying a history that you cannot see. Both are true at once. So how do we practice what we've learned? I want to give you something simple I call pause and see. Try it for just 3 days. 1. Pause. Take one breath before you react. In line at the store, at the kitchen table, take that breath. 2. See as God sees. Quietly in your heart say, "Lord, help me see each person I encounter today as you do." Taking hold of the 2 truths at one time, see a person who is deeply loved and worthy of grace, and at the same time human, fragile, with problems just like you and me, loved and frail both. 3. Do one small kind thing. Not a long speech, just one thing that says, "I see you as worthy." Use their name. Really look them in the eyes and smile, saying, "Take your time. No rush." Let them know they've been seen. Pick 3 people this week. One you love, one a stranger, one a person who is hard for you. Then pause. See them as worthy of grace and human. Then do one small kindness. The disciples had seen an interruption. Jesus saw a daughter he loved. Who will we choose to see this week? Let me tell you what this looked like for me one time. I was at a grocery store and the young woman at the register, her name tag said Maya. She barely looked at me, sighing, tossing the groceries. I felt, well, that's pretty rude. My old self would have matched her shortness or walked out fussing about poor service. But I paused and I thought, Gretel, God sees Maya as worthy of grace now, not after she's more polite, but right now. She is human and frail today. I looked. Her hands were shaking, her eyes were red. So I softened my voice and I said, Maya, thank you for being here today. Are you doing okay? You've been so busy. Her face changed. She whispered, my baby was up all night sick, and I had to come in anyway. That is the rest of the story that I might never have heard. I just thought, oh my, that is so much for her to carry. I said, I'm going to pray for you and that little one tonight. You are doing a hard, good job. She thanked me, really thanked me. 10 seconds, 10 seconds of seeing her as God sees her, worthy of grace. Not worthy after she's perfect, but right now when she is human and frail and tired. That is the Canaanite woman's gift to us. Jesus didn't see an outsider who was annoying and should be ignored. He saw a daughter worthy of grace. And I want you to hear this clearly. When you give someone even a crumb of kindness, of really seeing them, it can lift their whole day. That has been a meaningful lesson for me. Not because I get it right every time, I don't. But because when I do pause and see people, I never walk through my day alone. He goes with me to every store register, every kitchen, every conversation. And if you don't have the kind of relationship with God that allows you to believe that He seriously wants to walk with you each day, allow me to share with you the plan that He created so you can have that relationship with Him. See the video I made about my story so you can hear how you too can have a personal relationship with the God who created the universe. And if you don't already have a church home, I urge you to find a local church where you can have supportive friends to walk with on the journey to become like Jesus. A YouTube channel, no matter how informative, can't match the actual hugs, encouragement, and accountability you can find in a good local church. We all need people right beside us sometimes, just like the Canaanite woman and Maya needed someone to see them, really see them, even if it was just for a few seconds. Until then, you are more loved than you know, and the one who made you has never stopped looking for you. See you next time. Bye.